A level 5 problem here. Rosie, Anna and Dexter each have some buttons. Dexter has 4/5 of the number of buttons that Rosie has. Rosie and Dexter both give Annie some buttons. Dexter gives Annie 1/5 of his buttons, and 75% of Annie's buttons are from Rosie. Rosie has 91 buttons left, and we are asked, how many buttons does Annie have? Okay, so we're going to draw a bar for Rosie, Anna, and Dexter. I think I'm going to start with Dexter and Rosie because that's the information we can draw first. So if we draw Dexter and Rosie, in fact, I'm going to start by drawing Rosie's bar because we're basically told that her bar, what she has, is split into fifths, 5 equal parts. So this is Rosie's bar. And if this is the amount that Rosie has, then Dexter has 4 parts that are the same size as Rosie's. Okay, so that's the bit of information we're given at the beginning. Rosie and Dexter give Annie some buttons. Dexter gives Annie 1/5 of his buttons. Now, Dexter's bar, although we spoke about fifths when we did this bit, Dexter's bar is not split. If you look at it on its own, it's not split into fifths, it's split into quarters, into fourths. So we need to think of what the least common multiple is of 4 and 5, which is 20. So we need to split Dexter's bar into 20 parts, which means splitting each of these quarters, as it were, into 5. So that's what I'm going to do now. And I'm going to do Rosie's at the same time because we want to keep all of the parts equivalent. So that's 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'll do this best I can with my very terrible drawing. My handwriting is so bad it gets me out of doing all of the Christmas cards. All right. And last bit there. Okay. Right. So we have split this into 20ths. Okay. And what are we told? We're told that Dexter gives Annie 1/5 of his buttons. So here's where we're going to draw a bar for Annie. So we want to know what is 1/5 of 20. Okay. And 1/5 of 20 is 4. So Dexter's going to give Annie 4 parts. So what's that? That's going to be up to here. And we'll draw that in down here. So this is what Annie gets. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'm going to shade those in as well. We can see that that's what came from Dexter. Okay, what are we told next? Well, we're told that 75% of Annie's buttons are from Rosie. Now, if 75% of Annie's buttons are from Rosie, well, she only gets buttons from 2 people. That means that the balance, the rest of the buttons must be the ones from Dexter, which means that this section, this part here, is equivalent to 25% of Annie's total buttons. So if 25% equals 4 parts, okay, that's the same as 1/4, okay, then 75% or 3/4 must be 4 times 3, which is 12. So Rosie gives Annie 12 parts. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So that is what Annie gets from Rosie. So let's shade them in here. So this is going to be 5, this is going to be 10, 11, and 12. So these are the buttons that are given to Rosie. I'm sorry, the ones that Rosie gives to Annie. Okay. Now what are we told? Well, Rosie has 91 buttons left. That means that whatever this is, okay, from here to here has a value of 91. How many parts is that? Well, that's 5, that's 10, 11, 12, 13. So 91 is equivalent to 13 parts. So if we want to know the value of each part, we need to divide 91 by 13. And that gives us 7. So we now know that each of these parts has a value of 7. I'm not going to write them all in, but all of them, anyone that I would want to look at, they all have a value of 7 because we were careful to keep all of the parts equivalent. Right, so what are we asked? How many buttons does Annie have? So this is where the question. Okay, so how many buttons does Annie have? That's our question. So here we have 5, 10, 15, 16 parts all together. So to find out our final answer, that's going to be 16 times 7, which gives us 112. And that's our final answer.